Bullet Club.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. If you've been with us before, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time, happy holiday season to every one of you watching this retro or vintage, I guess, reactions video. This is Leanne Presents. I am one of your hosts. I am Alan. This is my co-host. This is Leanne. And as you've already seen from the title card, this is our vintage or retro reactions to Royal Rumble 1991. That's WWF Royal Rumble, not WWE, because it was WWF back in the day.
Yes.
So we had this request some time ago from one of our viewers, one of our, I want to say fans, I guess?
I suppose. Feels weird, but okay.
Yeah. To do this, and we've managed to get some time to actually do it, because they do take a bit of time, obviously, the pay-per-views, as they were back then. They are over 3 hours long, so it can be a bit awkward. To fit the time in, we managed to get to it, and here we are. So we hope you're watching, and we hope you enjoy. So this event took place in 1991 on the 19th of January, to be specific, from the Miami Arena in Miami, Florida.
Yes.
The attendance, it's an estimated around 16,000 person attendance, and it was quite loud. The crowd was quite loud. And the pay-per-view buys, there's about 440,000 pay-per-view buys, which is quite high for that particular period. The wrestling industry was in a bit of a downturn at that point. This actually got more pay-per-view buys than WrestleMania that year.
Wow.
The next Royal Rumble had, I think it was around about 220,000 pay-per-view buys.
It's a great event.
It's on a bit of a good slump at the moment, the wrestling industry at this point.
Yeah.
And it kind of does, it kind of goes down and down and down. It's not just for WWF, it's for WCW, NWA. They're all in a bit of a slump. And then obviously the NWO hits in WCW, and that has an uptick.
Yeah.
Attitude Era in WWF takes a hit. Boom! And it just skyrockets up, and then they kind of...
I guess we're at that sort of pivoting point between eras.
Yeah. They're trying to bring up the new guys. The Shawn Michaels, the Bret the Hitman Hart, I would say Marty Jannetty, but those kind of guys.
Are on the way out. New guys are coming up. The audience is changing. So it's bound to have a bit of a dip before it starts shooting back up again. I think you probably see that in different degrees throughout the years as the different eras of wrestling come through.
But yeah, so we didn't obviously do any predictions for this one, because it's an event that was like over 32, nearly 33 years ago.
Born.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this was literally 3 months, just shy of 2 days, just shy of 3 months before you were born.
Yeah.
So that's fun. And I mean, yeah. So we know we haven't done any predictions. So this is literally going to be a reactions video. Yeah. So this now is the part where I go, "Hey, Leanne, take it away."
Yay! So a bit slightly different in terms of reactions, because there's not much like finding out what's going to happen next, because it's already in the past. So it's a lot of this is a bit of comparing to how things are now to how they were then.
Current product, kind of.
And like just my impressions as a first-time watcher of this event. Have you watched this event before?
I believe I have, but I'm not 100%. I think I've watched all the Royal Rumble events.
Yeah.
Like when the network first launched. Oh, right. When the network first launched in the UK.
Yes.
I think I did go back and watch every WrestleMania. I'm pretty sure I watched all the Royal Rumbles.
Oh, yeah.
I think I watched the majority of Survivor Series, if not all the Survivor Series, but not all the SummerSlam. So Royal Rumble is my favourite event of the year.
Yes, so you're bound to have gone back and watched some of them. There's key ones, and there were some moments in this one. So I quite liked at the start of this event, they did sort of remind the audience what was coming up. They listed all the matches.
Yeah.
Which they tend not to do.
Well, they listed the competitors, not the matches.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, they didn't list all the matches at the beginning.
I thought they did. So they said they were tag team, and I thought that doesn't matter. They listed who's going to be involved. And we had Roddy Piper and Gorilla Monsoon, who were on commentary, so we cut them a few times. I love how enthusiastic Roddy Piper is. Just over the top.
Yeah.
Just loving life.
I don't remember many instances of him on commentary, but he was fantastic.
Yes, I'm very much enjoying it. There's a lot of emphasis in this one about supporting the troops, because this is happening as the Gulf War is happening. So there's a lot of references to that through the event.
Rags apparently is in the Royal Rumble.
In WWF, WWE have always been very involved in current events, especially when it comes to these big things, because they know it's such an impact on the people that they want their entertainment to be linked to it, to to build people back up and show that they're supporting as well. So it's nice to see. And there are an awful lot of USA chants because America.
Resist.
I know.
Resist.
So our first match, we'll change the subject slightly. We have the Orient Express, which is Keto and Tanaka, and they're accompanied by Mr. Fuji.
Mm-hmm.
And they're against the Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. Yes, so this is a very much, you've got Orient Express, the non-Americans, versus the Rockers, the Americans. So we get those USA chants. The Orient Express are very much your classic heels, is what I noticed. There's doing a lot behind the ref's back, distracting the ref. Mr. Fuji's got his outside of interference with the cane. And they use, it's a martial arts black belt, I think.
I think so, yeah. Some sort of...
which the move does backfire. It was quite a fun moment. I think they were trying to use it as a bit of a clothesline.
Yeah.
But I think I
think it was Shawn Michaels.
Then sort of just pushes down on the belt, so the
Yeah.
two of
I
them
think he kind of
collide
jumps
in the
up
middle.
and kind of on the belt, and it just...
Yeah, which is an innovative way of using a belt.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side, you've got the Rockers, who were obviously the crowd's choice for the win.
Yeah.
It's sort of, especially with Shawn Michaels, it's almost a frantic level of activity he's got. He's rushing about the place, very animated, and he's like, even just when he's taking a bump, he's ragdolling with everything. But it's really effective. It's sort of, it doesn't look, I guess at times it might look a bit, what's the word? Comical, yeah, slapstick maybe.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it really just emphasizes that he's taking these bumps. So I actually didn't get pulled out with it from that, which is great.
Yeah.
I feel like it wouldn't fit so well now because of the styles changed so much, and it's a different kind of realism. It would probably look a bit hammy, a bit overacted if it was in today's wrestling.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting.
I think the pacing was a lot more akin to today's wrestling, especially the sort of AEW stuff, but without the sort of, as you say, over-the-top sell jobs.
Yes. So in previous ones of these, the previous retro things, we have talked about the pace of a lot of matches is a lot slower back in the day. There's a lot more emphasis on grappling and that kind of thing. So this is, I guess, that switch between eras a bit again, isn't it?
Yeah.
With these new guys coming up. So is there anything in this match you wanted to talk about?
It's clear that at this point Shawn Michaels is going to be a megastar.
Oh yeah.
And Marty Jannetty not so much.
He
overshadowed
a little bit.
just a bit. If Galactus was the shadow, yeah. Marty Jannetty, I'm not knocking Marty Jannetty at all because he's a great athlete in his own right. But you've got Marty Jannetty's kind of here, and then Shawn Michaels is kind of here.
Yeah, the trajectory of them was just different, and then seeing them next to each other makes it really obvious, I suppose. Which is a shame, but it's the way things go. It's nothing to be done about it.
No.
So the finish of this one was a bit kind of weird. I think there was a bit of a double team slingshot kind of action happening.
It looked like Keto was meant to try and get like a monkey fling on into Tanaka, I think.
Yes, so then it ended up being Jannetty hitting a sunset flip kind of thing.
Yeah.
Into a pin on Tanaka. So the Rockers win the match.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I keep pausing, so I'm like, so our predictions? No. No predictions.
I mean, I think it was a great opener. The way the frenetic energy was really good for the opener, and it was a way to grab that crowd in. I know there was a dark match. I couldn't tell you what it was. But having this as the actual opener, I thought was great.
Yeah, it was really good energy. And the crowd, it's still, I think we've talked before in these videos about how even just the pitch of the crowd is so different to now, because it was still at this point a very family-friendly show.
There's a lot more kids there.
Loads of kids. So the chants, you can hear that it's mostly children shouting. But the enthusiasm behind them, it was constant noise the whole show. Might have been a bit sound balance stuff, but
but they weren't piping in, which is the main thing.
Yes, this is real noise. So it's pretty cool.
Shade.
Okay, so filler wasn't so much a thing back
No.
in these days.
No.
The stuff they did in between matches was all related to the matches, which is so much better.
Yeah. It's
so
like AEW.
I know. It's all relevant stuff. Oh, come on now. Off you go. Christ.
Ah.
We're just going to pause a little bit and sort this out. Alright, that's dealt with. Rags can be a bit of a pain sometimes.
And this is why I prefer dogs.
Yeah, they don't tend to jump on tables.
And they friggin' listen.
Oh, anyway, so the filler stuff. So we have Macho King Randy Savage in the back. So he's got a match against Sergeant Slaughter coming up.
Nope.
Oh, my bad. There is a match with Sergeant Slaughter.
Yes.
And Randy Savage has been promised by Sergeant Slaughter a championship match if he wins the title.
If Slaughter wins the title.
Yes. So the match that Sergeant Slaughter has is against the Ultimate Warrior, who is the current WWF champion.
Mm-hmm.
So after Macho King Randy Savage has that, we go to a stage at ringside where Sensational Sherri is out there with Mean Gene Okerlund and issuing a challenge to Ultimate Warrior, essentially saying Randy's saying Sergeant Slaughter is brave and honourable and has promised this championship opportunity if he wins the title. But Ultimate Warrior is a coward and would never do that. So she's challenging Ultimate Warrior to offer the same opportunity should he retain the championship. And then out comes Ultimate Warrior.
I wish I still had forgotten this.
And so, strangest segment. So we've got Sensational Sherri pretty much flirting, I guess. Very much flirting with Ultimate Warrior. And really awkwardly, she kisses him, and then Ultimate Warrior's like, "What is kiss?" But he doesn't say anything. But his reaction's like...
you've got to remember, Warrior's like a caveman, right?
Yeah.
That's his mannerisms.
His character's so weird. He's like he's not human or something. He's like touching his lips, sniffing his fingers, like, kiss? I do not understand.
She's got halitosis.
Maybe. And then she gets on her knees. She's like got one hand on his leg and like, tell me you're going to give this opportunity. And it's just so weird. And then you have the Ultimate Warrior being very much the Ultimate Warrior. He does this whole like shaking and then just screams, "No!"
You think if the camera just panned up and you were shaking the Sherri and moved her hand somewhere else. Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, she's pretty much eye level.
It was awkward. It was pretty uncomfortable, actually, watching. You wouldn't, I don't know, would you see that? You probably would see similar stuff now, thinking about it.
I wonder if this. I keep harping on about this. Somebody to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard podcast has covered Royal Rumble 91 or not? Because he was there.
Yes.
We already know that Bruce Pritchard was part of the company at this point because he appears later on as Brother Love. I would love to know who produced this segment, whose idea it was, because I get the feeling it was Vince McMahon's.
Oh, quite possibly, yeah. It was a bit uncomfortable. And it's like there's moments where Sherri is sort of caressing almost Ultimate Warrior, and Mean Gene's there with the mic, just having to be uncomfortably close to Ultimate Warrior.
To put it up to her mouth.
He's keeping the mic by her, but he's like standing. It's like they're both sandwiching Ultimate Warrior. It's so awkward. It's a bit of a weird segment, but ultimately, Ultimate Warrior turns down this proposition and will not be offering that championship opportunity. Macho King is livid and runs from the backstage where he's been watching out to where Sherri is. But obviously Ultimate Warrior is not there anymore. So he's just sort of standing there on this stage looking around like, where's he gone? It's like, he's probably back where you just came from. But okay. So yeah, that happened. And then we get our next match, which is the Barbarian, who's accompanied by Bobby the Brain Heenan, versus the Big Boss Man. For years. This is another. I think it's another America versus not America a little bit.
It feels it.
The Barbarian is very much the heel in this one. There's more USA chants. think the crowd's just so American, which nothing wrong with that. But you know, you wouldn't see like a UK crowd going UK UK. It doesn't really happen. There we go. There's a lot more less shenanigans in this match than there was in the previous match. It's a bit more grounded. Yeah, I think the Barbarian is the favourite in this one. That's the difference.
Favourite?
The like crowd seemed to. Well, I think Big Boss Man. Did he get?
No, Boss Man's the favourite in this.
I must have got notes mixed up. I'm like, no.
Boss Man is the ultimate face in this match. Yeah.
Boss Man, ultimate face. That's the one. Yeah, I don't have a huge amount written about this match.
No. I felt the rope break thing was overdone.
Yeah.
They did it like 4 times, I think, in one match. It's like, come on, really?
It went on a little bit long for this sort of era of match. But it was fine.
He was alright.
Yeah, nothing particularly special, I suppose.
No. Did you know Boss Man used to be a prison warden, a prison officer?
I think you've told me, yeah. So the character is a prison warden, but he was in real life.
Well, the character's more of a sheriff.
Okay. So he has the nightstick thing, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. You gotta use what you know in real life. I think a lot of wrestlers use that.
This was the kind of age where everyone had a gimmick.
Yeah, everyone got a gimmick.
Until about the sort of mid-90s, everyone had a gimmick.
It's the time of change is coming. So the finish on this one, I think I've got this right. Barbarian hits a flying crossbody, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
But Boss Man sort of catches him and rolls him up to pin him and win. So Big Boss Man is victorious. Yeah, not bad. Then we go to the back for a continuation of the same storyline with Randy Savage and Ultimate Warrior. But now we're going to Sergeant Slaughter, who is with General Adnan. And they're calling out Ultimate Warrior because their match is coming up. But he keeps referring to him as the ultimate puke.
Puke.
Just
if you're going to do it, you got to do it right.
Puke.
The ultimate puke.
Which is, I mean...
And again, that's a Vince McMahon thing, right?
Yeah. It's gotta be. It's fine. It's an insult based on the real name, but he says it a lot. And in my head, I just keep thinking of Puke, the short-lived wrestler.
That's way after this.
Way after. But that's all my head goes to.
It's probably something like, obviously, I think Slaughter used to be in the military, so it's obviously part of a boot camp thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Like calling everyone maggot and puke, and I think it's just a derogatory.
Definitely. But then we go to Ultimate Warrior for his retort. He said some words, I think.
That's pretty much what he said, right?
I've literally written that he speaks some nonsense and makes some noises because I don't know. I really don't understand the Ultimate Warrior character. I know he's like an icon in wrestling.
Can you tell me anyone who did understand him? I'll wait.
I have no idea. But like, is he meant to be, like you said, a caveman? He's clearly like not fully human, or like I don't know.
I think he saw himself as like some sort of outer space deity of sorts.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So maybe he's new to human life on Earth, so doesn't know what a kiss is.
So it's Chris Statlander, right?
Yeah. But he's at the same time seems to be like a hero and a bit like America, but more subtle, I suppose.
The only thing I can tell you is that Bruce Pritchard absolutely hated working with him because he just didn't really take care of the guys in the ring.
Yeah.
He was just reckless.
Oh, I kind of get that impression. He's a bit like wild, right? So this takes us neatly into the match, which is Sergeant Slaughter, who's accompanied to the ring by General Adnan, versus the Ultimate Warrior, and this is for the WWF Championship. Ultimate Warrior, I think he got this right. He attacks before the bell.
Yeah.
He tears I don't know the flag, the nation that it was from. It's General Adnan's flag.
It's probably Iran, I think.
Iran, one of those. He's like tears it up, shoves it in Sergeant Slaughter's mouth. The bell rings as soon as he attacks, so we're in a match now, but he's still using this flag.
I mean, that should be disqualification as a foreign object, right?
Should be.
Oh, that could be seen as racist. Foreign object?
Oh, no. It's only racist if you go there.
Hey, Warrior did.
He did. He just shoved it right in his mouth. So this match was interesting. I think Sergeant Slaughter and Ultimate Warrior have very different styles, so it was interesting seeing the way they sort of
Yeah,
gelled
Slaughter
together.
can wrestle and Warrior can't.
Yeah. There was a lot of interference. We had Sherri getting involved, and then Ultimate Warrior chasing her, and then Randy Savage ambushing him at the top of the ramp. But
yeah.
Where
the aisle?
Somewhere down the aisle, but like far away, and then the ref starts counting. But Sergeant Slaughter realizes he can't win the championship on a count out because it's champion's advantage. So now he's just trying to break the count, literally by like putting the ref's hands down, and the ref's just like, oh, "What'd you do that for?" And then starts from 1 again. Like, can't you remember what number you got to, ref? Come on, how is that breaking the count? He's literally just put your arm down. Nothing else is.
Like, my memory's not the best, but damn, I can remember what number I've counted up to. If it's from 1 to 10, I can at least take a pot shot guess at it, right?
So these days, breaking the count, you roll into the ring, roll out of the ring, the count starts again because a new person has exited the ring. That kind of makes sense. But putting the ref's arm down, nothing has changed. The count should continue. But there we go. But it does bring that plot hole of why did Randy Savage attack Warrior so far away from the ring when his goal is for Sergeant Slaughter to get the championship so that he can have the opportunity.
In my head, it would be goading.
Yeah.
So if Warrior retains, he's goading Warrior into giving him a match because he wants to get his hands on him.
Yeah.
That's the only logic I can go for.
Yeah, my other theory is Randy Savage is so mad that Ultimate Warrior refused the proposition that he's just lost control and he's just going to attack him, whatever.
So you might say that he's overcome with some macho madness. Yeah,
yeah, I think so. But later on, they do.
Dig it!
Randy Savage does sort of cause the end to happen.
Snap it to a Slim Jim.
So it kind of works out in the end. But is it a little bit? I think this whole match is a bit gimmicky.
Yeah.
But I think with the characters you've got, it kind of has to be.
Slaughter's boots is just like what?
Yeah, like military boots, but they've got the curl, like the stereotypical Iranian style, I suppose.
Arabic, I guess. I think a lot of the nations use that sort of.
Because General.
Adnan.
My brain. I was thinking Admiral Akbar from Star Wars. It's terrible. I apologize.
Oh, it's a trap!
It's a trap. It was a trap. Randy Savage attacks. Because he wore those styles of boots all the time, didn't he? So it's the same thing. He was probably a gift. So
I think Dan Sheik did as well. Dan Sheik definitely wore those boots.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the General Adnan is Colonel Mustafa.
I think so.
Who used to accompany Dan Sheik. I'm pretty sure it's the same chap.
He looks really familiar.
Yeah.
So the finish here, Macho Man hits Ultimate Warrior with his scepter.
Oh, he's a crack as well.
He got him.
Sorry, gunshot going off.
Which lets Sergeant Slaughter pin for the win. But the decision is delayed. So the ref is like trying to find out what happened. So it takes a few, I guess it's probably a minute or so,
minutes,
for him to decide that Sergeant Slaughter wins. Loophole, because if you didn't see it, you can't call it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that rule hadn't quite come in, but he should have called it as he saw it. Sergeant Slaughter wins. That's it.
I think it's more that Slaughter's turned on the USA, joined obviously the Iranian, the General Adnan guy, and it's like Hebner's done his whole sort of 3 count, which I love when he does those 3 counts at the end of the match. You know that it's coming, and he's like, that's great. Just puts that extra exclamation point on there, and he's just like, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
How did this happen? How can I make it to the
that's
USA
kind of
wins?
what I kind of felt he was going for.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because he doesn't kind of want sort of have the title either.
So is this where the crowd had the BS chant?
Yes.
Yes, which we were not expecting.
No.
This early on.
Yeah, no, that was nuts.
But they're very USA right now. So.
The one thing I sort of got out of this match is the Warrior was kind of what we were talking about overacting earlier. He's like a super overactor. So he gets hit and he's like, oh!
But he is hammy. This is the difference between him and Shawn Michaels.
Like, I don't want to spoil Evil of the Dead, but damn, that thing, he's bigger than a gammon joint.
But I know, like, the thing where he's like shaking the ropes. So he's like on the floor and he's like gets the bottom rope, like shaking the ropes. and then he gets nice with it. And the top one is like going nuts. I quite like that. It's kind of the character.
Yeah.
But then the overacting for everything else it makes it a bit much, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the indomitable spirit of the warrior. That's what that shaking thing is, isn't it?
But it's fun for kids, right? Fun for kids. Okay. We then have an ad for WrestleMania 7.
I mean, we're approaching 40, so
yeah.
WrestleMania 40 is the next one. Is it?
Nuts. Yes, 40 is the next one.
Yeah, no, it's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It is. Which is absolutely
That's right, because
insane.
it always takes place at the... Yeah,
you got it. And then we go to our next match, which is Koko Ware, who is accompanied by Frankie the McCaw, versus the Mountie, who's accompanied by Jimmy Hart. I did love the dialogue between Frankie and Jimmy Hart. It's just Jimmy just screaming at this parrot. Look at him now, Frankie! Over and over again. Just the same line.
And the bird's just like...
It's not a talking bird, as far as I'm
aware.
so
confused. I'm pretty sure he told the point.
Oh, did he? I didn't catch it, but he wasn't
I told you the story about the fire. So,
yes.
We're not going to go into that.
Didn't hear him talking in this match.
We're not going into that.
No. I did feel this was a bit of a filler match. I didn't sort of get a lot from it, other than the parrot.
I think it's a way to break up everything from the Slaughter win. It's a way to sort of reset the crowd, I think.
Yeah, calm them down.
They're still stewing and they're like... Oh.
Yeah, it's like, look everyone, a bird.
Because you don't want to go from down here to up here constantly.
Yeah, exactly. You got to sort of
bring
them back on level and then hype them up again. No, I think you're right. So I didn't get like much about it. It was a good match. I don't know Koko Ware like at all. I have seen the Mountie in a couple of things before.
Yeah. Koko Ware, I mean, the Mountie's great. Koko Ware, for some reason, just didn't make it.
No.
He was put in a tag team with the Rocket Owen Hart at some point, and they had a tag team. I can't remember, was it High Energy or something? I can't remember the name of the tag team. But yeah, that's probably the pinnacle of his career at that point.
Yeah, that's a shame. Okay.
And it's this
the way things go.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk in the next match. We'll talk about the other guys. Well, one of the other guys, and that never really did much. And they were like, "Oh, let's strap a rocket to him and see how far he goes," and he just come in.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a shame.
Okay.
It happens. There's so many life circumstances that can get in the way, and sometimes
I think sometimes the crowd just didn't connect to people.
Yeah, and you can't control that. If you try and control what the crowd think, that's when things go wrong.
I mean, you look at Roman Reigns and the way they were trying to push him, and they just kept booing all the time. They turned him heel, and everyone's like, "Yeah, this is better."
Yeah,
but it took him like 8 years to get there.
Yeah. Come on, guys, listen to the fans. All right, so then we have sort of the fallout of the Sergeant Slaughter win. We got Randy Savage at the back just yelling, "No one says no to the Macho King." And he's like, I don't know, stomping around and running about the place.
Yeah, Ware was hammering on his locker room door to try and get in.
Yeah, so then off he goes. Probably just leaves forever. And then Sergeant Slaughter has an interview because he's the new champ. And yeah, pretty good. Saying, like, this is an order when he's not actually giving an order, but then he follows it up with, "That's an order." There's this catchphrase, but it doesn't always work. "I'm the champ, and that's an order."
Maggot!
Then we have a bit of a segment where we see clips of different WWF fans all sending their well wishes to the troops, which is a nice touch. It sort of brings the focus back to all the stuff happening in the world, but the focus on the fans rather than like the wrestlers getting the spotlight.
Sort of thinking about that now, I'm surprised they actually went with Slaughter, given the whole fact that they're supporting the troops and that, and then Slaughter's a traitor and he's just got the title. But I guess they obviously set up for the WrestleMania match. So
yeah, set it up, and the people are more heightened to that sort of thing, so they're gonna boo harder. It's it's all that stuff. And then we get some promos that are leading up to the Royal Rumble, which is coming up later. So we have promos from Jake the Snake, Earthquake, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Texas Tornado, Legion of Doom, The Undertaker, but Brother Love does all the talking, as usual. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, The Model, Rick Martel, British Bulldog, Mr. Perfect with Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Tugboat. So they're like, I guess, the main people, apart from Hulk Hogan, who does a bit later.
Legion of Honor.
Yeah.
A lot. You just spat a lot of names. Bret Hart won that.
No, he didn't do the thing. He didn't do it. Yeah, it's a bit of a selection, and I guess it's a nice way in the middle of the show. You just saying, "Remember, guys, this is gonna be cool." So it's a nice way to do that. Okay, and then we go to the back with $1 Million Man with Virgil, who are prepping for their match coming up next. And essentially talking about how Virgil will definitely help $1 Million Man to win because he's getting paid.
And everybody's got a price. And
Virgil's got this amazing look. Just that you can tell something's going to snap.
The Virgil is the other one I was talking about with Koko Ware that he just didn't get over.
Yeah.
He's like, right, let's strap a rocket to him. And
it's a real shame. And we'll get to that. I got thoughts. It's good stuff. So yeah, then we have Dusty and Dustin Rhodes, father and son team, versus the $1 Million Man, oh my words, Ted DiBiase and Virgil.
Oh my words.
Oh my words. It makes sense.
Have you heard that phrase before?
It's new.
Quick, trademark it.
I will. This is a really interesting match to watch with particularly Dusty and Dustin.
Yeah.
Having seen Dustin Rhodes in AEW in his later years in wrestling, and this I'm gathering is fairly early in his career. He's wrestling with his dad, and you can see the similarities in their styles, and you can see the similarities and the differences between how he is now and how he is later on.
Does that mean I need to show you some Goldust stuff?
I've seen some, I think, and I don't think I need to see more. I know it's part of the history we accept. It's a thing. Is it Dusty that is really camp? Sort of, he's got his feminine ways, but showing how strong he is as well, and that like it is okay for men to have a feminine side. And back then, that was quite forward thinking.
Yeah.
And I guess
back then you get flogged for it. Yeah.
With Goldust, they might have taken it a bit too far because it went a bit ridiculous.
I mean, it was only about 5 years later that the whole Goldust and Piper thing at WrestleMania.
But it was great to see these guys wrestling together. It was really interesting to see.
And in between sort of this, I don't know when he leaves WWF, he goes to WCW and becomes the natural Dustin Rhodes. I think Dusty goes with him at that point. And then he obviously comes back to WWF as Goldust. So.
Yes. Oh, what a shame.
And then we got the artist formerly known as Goldust. You haven't seen anything like that. Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's worse.
Oh dear. So I guess we'll get to the finish because the bit that I want to talk about is after the finish. So I actually missed how the win happened. But $1 Million Man pins Dustin Rhodes. I believe Virgil fails.
Well, there was a point where Ted DiBiase was holding Dustin, and Virgil winds up and he hits Ted DiBiase by accident. I think it was Dusty. It might have been Dusty. Ducks out of the way and he crowns Ted DiBiase, and Ted DiBiase starts beating him up. And he sort of shoves him out of the ring, and then Ted DiBiase wins the match. Yeah.
So it's at that point that Ted DiBiase gets the mic once he's won. Does all the usual money things and saying how
everybody's got a price.
The Rhodes have paid the price and all this, lots of prices talked about. And then
some might say that the price is right.
The price is right. But is it? Calls Virgil an idiot, which I mean, if you hit your own teammate, kind of got that coming a little bit.
I mean, he ducked. So
it happens, right? Friendly fire happens. And then he starts ordering Virgil around, saying you're still gonna do what I'm telling you because I'm paying you. Go and get my belt and put it on me. Get in this ring and put it around my waist. And that look, that stare from Virgil is really, it's amazing. Considering I haven't seen any of the stuff leading up to this, I don't know whether there was a bit of a build-up towards Virgil becoming unhappy in this partnership.
As far as I know, I've not really seen much of it either, but as far as I'm aware, that it's just Virgil's been brought in as almost like a slave.
Yeah.
$1 Million Man's paying him, and he's threatening to stop paying him so Virgil can't pay for his mother's house or something or other.
Right,
or
yeah.
something like that, because he mentions his mother in the promo, I think.
Yeah, I think that's right. So you can just see he could snap any moment. And I got so invested just in this small moment of like, go on, turn on him. I'm just desperate for him to turn. So Virgil gets the belt begrudgingly, rolls into the ring, drops it on the floor.
He kind of throws it down the Ted DiBiase's feet.
Obviously, purposefully dropped it. Ted DiBiase is then like saying, "I'm paying you. You'll do what I say. Pick it up, put it around my waist." So, hang on, where am I? He picks it up. He goes down on one knee, picks up the belt. He does this so slowly and deliberately. Stands back up. DiBiase is now like turning around. He's sort of showing the crowd, "See, I'm the man. I'm paying him. I can do what I want." And then gets crowned with this belt right in the face. It was perfect. Belt goes down on the floor again. Virgil spits on it. Oh no, he has it in his hand. Spits on it,
and then he throws it.
Then he throws it on
Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase. That's right. It was just the perfect turn. Just every step of it, I felt.
The crowd was nuclear right as well.
It's so good, and to be able to come into an event and get so invested in just one moment and have it go so right, absolutely floored me. Is probably my highlight of the show.
And it kind of goes to show that Ted DiBiase was just solid gold.
Yeah,
no pun intended.
Really
but he was phenomenal.
And that's such a shame that Virgil didn't take off the way that he could have, because he did everything right in this moment. He could have been something great.
Yeah.
I don't know. Things didn't work out. I don't know the story, but obviously didn't make it. But he could be proud of this for sure. Yeah. Right. Hulk Hogan in the back. Royal Rumble's coming up. So Hulk is in the back, and he is dedicating this match to the troops. Yay. There was a bit where the commentators before were saying that to support the troops, Hulk Hogan's going to be going around the military bases in the US to see their wives, and that just made me laugh a little bit. It was to see like the soldiers that are there, but they did say the wives, and I'm like,
it's a bit weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to support you, troops. Hulk's going to go see your wife now.
It sounds so bad.
Bye.
It sounds so bad.
The whole thing. So while Hulk Hogan is being interviewed, I say interviewed because he's just talking. Mean Gene is holding the mic. This is fine. But Mean Gene's like got his finger to his ear because he's getting a message. And he's told that Sergeant Slaughter has defaced the American flag. Unconfirmed reports that he's defaced the American flag.
Yeah, they don't show it. And they wouldn't because he would cause riots.
Yes. But even just saying it, that crowd's then like hyping up again, just in time for the Royal Rumble. Yay! So I'm gonna list the competitors.
Okay, here we go.
It might take a while. Shall I go quickly or slowly? I don't even know.
Just band-aid it.
Just the two competitors that start in the ring, we've got Bret the Hitman Hart and Dino Bravo. And then in order of appearance, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Paul Roma, Texas Tornado, Rick the Model Martel, Saba Simba, Bushwhacker Butch, Jake the Snake Roberts, Hercules, Tito Santana, The Undertaker, sorry, autocorrect, Jimmy Snuka. There's a word before and now my phone says superbly.
Superfly.
Superbly, Jimmy Snuka. Okay.
Wow.
Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Ask the woman you murdered.
British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, Smash from Demolition, Hawk, Shane Douglas, Animal, Crush from Demolition. I said from Demolition because I didn't know these guys. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Earthquake, Mr. Perfect, Hulk Hogan, Haku, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Bushwhacker Luke, Knobs from Nasty Boys, Warlord, and Tugboat.
Yep. And
for anyone counting, that was 29, not 30. Because I think it was number 15? 18. Way off.
3 off, I would say way off.
Way off. The countdown came, no one came out, and the only person missing was Randy Savage.
Slap into a Slim Jim, yeah!
So either he's being got by the Ultimate Warrior, or he's just hiding.
He probably left the building.
Probably
I'd
just
imagine
left.
he's sort of fleeing for his life.
Yeah.
This warrior's on a warpath.
Mm-hmm. Some interesting eliminations in here. If we go through the whole match, we'll be here forever.
Yeah.
Also, as you will know, I'm sure, Royal Rumble matches can be really hard to follow. As we heard from the commentators, who didn't even kind of realize who just got eliminated when they literally just said who got eliminated.
Someone model got someone out. I can't remember who it was, and he managed to sort of land on the apron and roll back in. And then Gorilla's like, "What happened to such and such?" Even though, like the minute previous, he was talking about the model rolling back in after eliminating.
It was Saba Simba.
It might. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Where's Saba Simba gone?" Even though he was talking about the model eliminating him and then rolling back under the ropes like 2 minutes previous.
They're hard to follow. There's a lot going on.
Piper's like, what?
So, cool eliminations. The Undertaker lifting Bret Hart fully by the neck.
Yeah.
And just like plopping him over.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. Animal and Hawk doing I think it's like a double clothesline.
Hey, Leanne.
Double
clothesline
to eliminate the Undertaker, but then immediately after Hawk is eliminated, I think he was sticking his tongue out. Like, I can't remember.
Yeah, he was kind of taunting the Undertaker.
Yeah,
someone just dumps him out.
Actually, go. And then probably the most iconic, and maybe one that is remembered for people who even haven't watched this, is Bushwhacker Luke. Who stomps his way to the ring in classic Bushwhacker style, gets in the ring, Earthquake just picks him right up.
It didn't even do that, he just kind of grabbed the belt and just flings him over.
Walks to the other side of the ring, dumps him out, Bushwhacker immediately starts stomping his way round, and apparently is licking people on the way out, as a Bushwhacker does.
Yep. Do you want to take a guess as to how long he is clocked in at being in the match?
Maybe like 4 or 5 seconds.
4 seconds.
4 seconds, yeah. It was just the straight line, just straight across, out he goes.
And he's just like, all the way, whoop, out, back from the ring, here we go.
Just didn't miss a step. Amazing. I bet I really want to believe that he decided on that himself.
Well, yeah, that'd be so funny. I know that isn't the shortest elimination anymore.
No.
I think Santino Marella he got in the ropes and he literally gets clotheslined straight back over. It's like 1 second. And then he's like, wait, I wasn't ready.
I think I saw that clip. I think I've seen that. Amazing.
Can you tell me who the longest in the match was?
Oh, I think
if you were listening to the commentary.
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember.
Rick the Model Martel. Do you want to take a pot shot guess at how long?
Was this the one you said that it was like days?
Oh, no. The actual
official.
The actual longest in the match,
like an hour 20, I don't know. Long.
52 minutes.
52 minutes.
And 17
an hour
seconds.
20 was way off.
Yeah. So you're talking about Curtis
long.
Axel. I can't remember which Royal Rumble it was, but he never officially gets in the ring because he gets jumped by someone. Therefore, he never truly entered the Rumble, so how can he get eliminated? And it was a whole story that they did. So.
But if he didn't enter the Rumble, then he was never in it, so he couldn't win. It's the whole thing. Okay, so the final 3 in this match, we come down to the Hulk, Earthquake, and Knobs.
Okay. Not Final 4, that's weird.
I've only gone for the final 3.
Oh, okay. It's usually Final 4, but okay.
Oh, it doesn't matter. And just by
It's Brian Knobs, by the way, not just a guy called Knobs. Brian Knobs and Jerry Sags from Last Device.
I just know him as Knobs.
Knobs.
Sorry. Just like those 3 names, and I know I don't have a lot of the background, but for anyone being like, who would win out of the Hulk, Earthquake, and Brian Knobs?
That's clearly Knobs, right?
Well, so the way that Hulk eliminates Knobs is, I pretty liked it. What is wrong with me today? So it's literally just one kick.
Yeah, a big boot over the top.
Just a big boot.
Well, that's one of his finishers, the big boot. He usually does the big boot, then sets up for the leg drop.
It's just like picture perfect, though. Knobs just like flipping out, off he goes. And then Earthquake goes with a clothesline over the ropes. I mean, with the size of him, isn't it believable? But the Hulk did wear him down quite a bit.
I mean, Hulk is taller, so he has got the sort of leverage on him, I guess.
Yeah, you just have to get the the leverage and the weight distribution right.
And I think that if you were to
it.
maybe do like an arm wrestling contest, for example, I think Hogan would win because I think Hogan's got the more muscle mass.
Got the arms.
So he's stronger. I'd
Yeah.
definitely say he's stronger than Earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
That's pretty cool. Hulk wins, the crowd goes wild, and then the Hulk holds his own episode of Signs of the Pay-Per-View, where
by stealing them from the
he
fans.
steals 3 signs from the crowd. The first one says, "The Hulk rules."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's me. And then he pulls one out saying it's peace in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Because he's got to be like, it's me, but also we love the world.
Did you? Okay, bonus points for that then if you got what was on the back of that sign.
Oh, it was so-and-so should do hard time.
Bobby Heenan will do hard time.
That one.
Because of obviously Barbarian and Bossman.
Mm. And then the third sign. Ooh, I can't remember the third sign. It was something else.
Yeah, I can't remember the third one.
I can't remember. But yeah, he holds up 3 signs, and I'm like, that's what I do. But there we go. I won't
something
sue.
to do with Saddam and Slaughter.
Oh yeah.
Something. Oh, what was
it? Was along the lines of neither of their reigns will last long, kind of thing, or Slaughter will go the same ways. Yeah. So.
I can't remember. Yeah. It was Saddam and Slaughter will give up or quit or never win. Something along those lines. Yeah.
Good signs. I think Hulk's pretty good at. He can do the whole ego thing because he's got that position, but he also knows that to get people on side, he needs to keep on top of things, and that's. I'm sure he actually cares at least to some degree, but that's why he'll do all the tours to the military bases and all that
see
stuff.
all the wives.
See all the wives, because as well as being what a decent human in his position of power should do, he knows it gets eyes on and popularity, which can't blame him for, and it still ends up with him doing good, so no complaints. So yeah, that's Royal Rumble 91.
Okay, Leanne. So anyone who's seen our videos knows how this is going to go. What was your least favourite match?
It's got to be, what did I say was the filler one? It was Koko
Beware
and the Mountie. My favourite bit was Frankie the McCaw.
What was your favourite match?
Dustin versus Ted DiBiase and Virgil.
Because of the whole Virgil thing.
Yeah, and I think the match in general was great in itself, but that story bit just cherry on the cake.
What
about
I agree
you?
I'd probably agree with that.
Yeah.
I think I do love the Royal Rumble, but it can be a bit too much.
It can.
This one was pretty much full on as well. There was so many guys in the ring all the time.
It was really hard.
Oh my god, I can't keep up with this.
It's like, did someone just get eliminated? I'm not sure.
And it's a $1 Billion Man. I'd probably say is one of my faves.
Yeah.
I've always liked Ted DiBiase and his work. I think he's great.
What a character.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I know that the fan, our viewer who requested us to do a video reaction to this, likes his what would you give it out of 10?
Oh, okay.
What would you give it out of 10?
We're saying the whole pay-per-view
as a whole, yeah.
As a whole. I'd probably go around maybe a 7.
Yeah, I think so. Koko Beware and Mountie kind of brought that down. I can see why they did it.
I think it's very much as well with the times. Things have moved a lot now in terms of how cultures are represented. And that does sort of take it down a little bit for someone who's a first-time watcher. I completely get, like, if you watched it in 1991 and you're watching it again, that nostalgia and the feeling of how it was then sort of overrides that stuff. But as a first-time watcher, like, the Orient Express, come on, guys.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of taking on the back of the Midnight Express and the Rock and Roll Express, though. Yeah. So they're kind of going, right, we need someone else who can sort of be on that level. They're both Japanese. Well, we think they're both Japanese. I don't actually know who's under the mask of Keto.
No.
Obviously, Tanaka is Pat Tanaka, but it's like, oh, what we can call them. We can't call them the Asian Express.
Yeah.
So the Orient Express, because I think that probably feels a bit more... less racist, almost, I guess, or derogatory.
The main things that bring the rating down, though, are Koko Beware match and the Sherri and Ultimate Warrior stuff.
God, will you stop reminding me about that?
So weird.
All right, I'm going down to a 6 because of the Sherri and Ultimate Warrior.
Fair enough. I'm going to say it's 7.
That was just
it was weird.
Wrong,
so weird.
Okay, so like we've said before, so Big Boss Man was a prison warden.
Yes.
Barbarian looks like a Viking. Slaughter's a boot camp, etc. The Mountie is obviously the Mountie. Okay.
I'm
going to name 3 people. You got to guess what their occupations were
before
as the characters. Okay. So we've got the Goon.
He was like a robber.
Nope, that's Repo Man.
Oh, gangster.
Nope.
Oh, goon.
Hockey player.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
Okay.
gotcha.
Duke the Dumpster Drosy.
Bin Man.
Bingo. Last one. Easy one. Isaac Yankum.
Oh, was he the IRS man?
Nope.
No, Isaac Yankum.
IRS was the IRS
Yeah,
man.
of course he was.
They were not shyster. No, shyster. Robs people, yeah?
Oh, Isaac
Yeah.
Yankum. Oh, he's a dentist.
Dentist.
Yankum.
Bonus points if you can tell me the next gimmick he went on to. Who was Isaac Yankum in his most popular gimmick?
Oh, was he... There's something about money. No, I don't know.
That's gotta be Kane!
Oh, yeah!
Isaac Yankum is Kane.
Yeah,
Stan
he's
Jacobs.
Kane. There's got something to be said for 80s and early 90s
Yeah.
gimmicks.
I mean, that was sort of mid-90s Isaac
yeah.
Yankum, but yeah. It was awful.
They were something.
Oh, what was the other one? TJ Hopper was a plumber.
Okay.
Like, there was a vignette of him plunging a toilet with a builder's bum. It's like, oh, this is awful.
Why can't they just be wrestlers?
I know. It was the times.
Yeah, it was the time. It's
So,
the
like,
kids.
you had WWF doing this, and then WCW just like, let's just go with their names.
Yeah.
Like, Big Boss Man goes to WCW, he's just Ray Trailer.
Mm.
Like, Diesel, right? Truck driver guy. Like,
Yeah.
oh, what's kind of... He goes to WCW, Kevin Nash. Razor Ramon, the bad guy. Goes to WCW, Scott Hall. They just use, like, proper names and just go...
Yeah. People have names already.
Yeah. So there's no WWE pay-per-view this month.
No.
Next one will be...
It's the one at the end.
No. The next WWE pay-per-view is... Royal Rumble.
Sorry.
At the end of January.
My brain.
The next wrestling video after this will be AEW's World's End.
That's what was spinning me
December
out.
30th. Yeah, the next WWE one will be at the Royal
The
Rumble.
Royal Rumble. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so we hope look forward to that. We're going to have plenty more content in between as well, between
Yes.
board games and video games, possibly unboxings and stuff arrives, etc.
Yeah.
So Leanne, take us away.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you liked it. Subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we drop new videos. Follow us on socials. Our link tree's in the description below, which will take you to Instagram, Facebook, and X. You can talk to us.
Twitter.
You can talk to us in the comments below or on our socials. Let us know, were you at this event? That would be cool to know.
That would be cool.
Or if you've seen it, let us know what your favourite and least favourite match, and why was your favourite match the same one as ours? Yeah, talk to us. It'll be good. And we're going to see you soon in our other videos, so do check them out. And until next time...
Don't go busting no Christmas spirits.
Christmas spirit.
I don't know where that came from.